What's up, gamers? DreamcastGuy here, and today we're talking about Xbox because the head of Xbox Game Studios, Matt Booty, has finally decided to talk about why specifically he chose to shut studios down, and to be honest, it feels like a lie. It feels like his statements are at least partially untruthful, and the internet is incredibly pissed about it, but let's get into it. Hi, hope you're having a great day. If you could, please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm sorry if I sound a bit strange today. I'll be honest, I was in a terrible bike accident. I'll make you guys a deal. Watch to the end of this video and I'll stand up and show you my leg because I literally hit a wall by accident going about 20 and I got really banged up. But it's time for video games. Okay, so Matt Booty has implied that Tango Gameworks got shut down because the head of the studio decided to step away. Now, this is entirely bizarre because Shinji Mikami is the founder of Tango Gameworks, and he's done so much amazing stuff. Like, beyond just obviously the evil within, you can't actually discount the fact that this is an award-winning game. Hi-Fi Rush, they made perhaps one of the best Xbox games of the entire last decade after Shinji Mikami left the studio. Like, this is literally, from the very start, Shinji Mikami said his goal was to train younger talent to take over the studio. He doesn't want to just stay there forever. He's kind of an old guy. He was essentially saying, okay, I want to make the studio great and then leave it up to these people to make money and keep churning out amazing awesomeness, which they did successfully. So this statement is additionally bad because this is ridiculous in that he's saying, okay, like, if you're going to do that, does that mean that if change in leadership is the quote, does that mean that Ninja Theory is also about to get closed? The founder of Ninja Theory and the creator of Hellblade decided to leave the studio before Hellblade 2 came out, and that game actually flopped. So it makes me think, are they just going to shut down anybody? Let me show you the full quote, though, because in my opinion, it is just insane. There's a lot of things that go into the success of a game and what that leadership does it have. What creative leadership do you have? Sorry, I'm misspeaking here. What leadership do you have? What creative leadership do you have? Is the same team that shipped it something that's successful previously? Like, he's essentially saying that if any part of the machine that prints money gets a little bit off track, they're just going to shut it down. Like, this to me is completely insane. And if you actually look at the full statement of it, he directly says, Hi-Fi Rush is something that we're glad they delivered. It's a great game that did well. And they decided to shut it down just because, you know what? We just feel like we're not going to be able to get success going forward. There's many factors and situations that previously can lead to success, and sometimes things change. This is such a weirdo thing to say because Shinji Mikami left Tango and said, okay, I want them to be best. Like, Shinji Mikami directly said, I feel comfortable with the team I've created, and then he left. He said, okay, they already know what they're doing. I'm an old man. I've taught them the best I could. They're doing great stuff on their own. I'm just going to let them just completely kicking butt without me being the training wheels. They're essentially saying, yes, this is Shinji Mikami's studio, but we decided to shut it down because we don't trust his judgment. Like, literally everybody is like, okay, this is an evil statement. You're trying to blame Shinji Mikami for leaving the studio. Was he supposed to just stay there forever? You're telling any Xbox-owned studio that if you leave, hundreds of people will lose their jobs. This, to me, it's just... I get annoyed because, let's face it, this is not true. In general, I think it's pretty obvious that Matt Booty is just straight up lying. Like, not to be too harsh on Matt Booty, but I think he's trying to do corporate speak. I think somebody way up at the top decided to shut down Tango, and he's just the guy who had to carry it out. But I hate the fact that they're acting like there's this logic and reasoning. Oh, I'm sorry, the head of leadership left, and so they just fell apart. Look, I'm not going to act like Shinji Mikami wasn't an important, integral part of Tango. I mean, he is definitely the heart and soul of it, but it's so bizarre that he did his best to get them going. They created such an amazing, weird, completely random game that completely burned up, and now they still get shut down. Oh my God. This is implying that Mikami, oh God, I'm so frustrated. I apologize. Implying this is on Mikami and framing his leave as an abandonment is quite literally the pinnacle of corporate behavior. Literally the type of tactics you see in anti-union maneuvers and stuff. Yeah, they're essentially saying, sorry, if you ever leave, if you ever change tune, if you ever do anything that we don't explicitly like, we're going to shut down the entire studio. Now, the reason I kind of don't like this is, I'll be honest, I've been playing a lot of retro stuff recently. A lot of new games too. I just did a big review for Shadow of the Erdtree, the new Elden Ring DLC, and that's fantastic. But I feel like I'm beginning to miss that PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 era where games were actually smaller budget and made quick. I mean, this is weird to think about. Mario 64 was made in about a year and a half, completely from conception to completion, a year and a half. Now, everything takes 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. Everything takes an incredible amount of time to create, to code, to craft, to bug test. I almost feel like we're having this weird thing where companies, because these studios need to actually turn a profit as quickly as possible, Xbox is going to keep shutting stuff down that doesn't fit their forecasts. And as a gamer that truly believes in video games as an art form, it is bizarre to think that this stuff is just so disposable to people like Matt Booty. Like the fact that the head of Xbox Game Studios is just straight up saying, keep creating, and prospectively, we want to make sure we can project your future success. As soon as you defer at all, we're going to shut you down. How is this not extremely demoralizing? Like, how can you actually work at an Xbox game studio and not constantly think, am I next? Am I screwed? If my next big quarter does not meet their hopes and dreams, do I get shut down? Does everybody lose their jobs because we didn't get enough trailers and hypes and showcases? Like, a lot of these replies are like, this sucks. God, I'm just so annoyed because I liked Tango a lot. Sometimes people say I'm biased. I put too much emotion in videos. But to me, I think that's part of the reason people watch, is that I care about the games. I'm the dude who reviewed Evil Within 1 and Evil Within 2 and all the DLC. In fact, part of the reason my channel originally blew up is covering so much random stuff from Tango. I genuinely think that Tango is one of those things that I feel like it is a good example of the heart and soul of the gaming community. It is a guy who had success stepping away to make his own team and own crazy vision, and he nailed it. And what do they get as a reward? Bought and shut down. Stuff like this continually irks me because, to be honest, I feel like the industry needs to figure out some way to make smaller stuff again. Like, I love the graphics. I love the length. I mean, I just talked about Elden Ring. That's a huge, long game funded by Bandai Namco and From Software. But I guess my point is the fact that it sucks the fact that everything has to be the biggest game ever. Everything has to be Fortnite or Call of Duty. If you just try and make some B-tier exclusives these days, they just get shut down. PlayStation did this as well with PlayStation Studios. They did like a PlayStation Japan. Japan Studios did cool stuff like Gravity Rush, and still they got shut down. I'm just disappointed. I'm very, very disappointed that it just feels like it's not about making great games. It's about making great money. And I guess that's always been the case, but it just sucks that people like Microsoft and a lot of these major billion-dollar corporations, they could just shut you down if they expect your next game might flop. And it's aggravating to me. But that's just been some off-the-cuff thoughts. What do you guys think about this? Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you could, please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And please keep dreaming. All right, I'm going to show you this wound, but be fair warned. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that was a painful one. I'll be honest, I'm not even sure how it happened. I hit the wall on my left side, which is why I have all these scrapes. And then when I went down, I think the bike hit me and crushed my leg. Yow. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.